Nazzarios, metal from the rock.
Metal Maximum Radio ti trasporta nel mitico mondo del metal. Visita il nostro sito web metalmaximumradio.net e chatta con noi.
Quindi ragazzi, come abbiamo promesso, è qui con noi il grande Andreas, mitico chitarrista dei Sepultura, un pezzo di storia del metallo internazionale. So, welcome to Nazzarios, welcome to Maximum Radio, Andreas.
Thank you very much, man. Pleasure to talk to you all.
Yeah, there was a discussion in the week because I made the post and everyone knows that I was born in Argentina, so they say, oh, today is the classic between Maradona and Pelé, no?
Yeah, I wish we had that classic Maradona against Pelé. It would be a great game.
Yeah. do you know how to play soccer, football, or not? You are not so.
Yes, I love. Since I was actually football, calcio.
Il calcio
was my first passion. You know, even before music. Of course, my mom and dad listened to a lot of music at home. Very diverse, you know, from country music to rock to samba and all that stuff.
Yeah.
But football and culture was my biggest passion when I was younger, and still is. I mean, I still love football, and I love to play. I'm not actually a bad goalkeeper, you know.
Good.
That's the position I love to play. You know, my biggest idols, you know, are on this position, the goalkeepers.
Oh yeah.
I really admire a lot the Dino Zoff. Dino Zoff in '82. He was an amazing player against Brazil, which had an amazing team with Zico and Socrates and Falcão and all that stuff, you know. And Dino Zoff was the captain and he was the champion, you know, in '82. And it was really cool to see a goalkeeper holding up the cup, you know, the World Cup. It was really cool. Besides being Brazilian and all the stuff, I mean, it was really cool to see a position of goalkeeper being important like that. You know, it was great.
Exactly, because like we say in Argentina, the goalkeeper is the one who took the ball to the game. No, because he don't play.
No, but I mean, you are Argentina, you're young, I know, but you know about Ubaldo Fidjor, no?
Absolutely.
Amazing goalkeeper, 78. I used to, oh man, it was the first time I saw a keeper using number 5, you know, that was number 1. I thought it was so cool, you know, long hair, you know, Mario Kempes and Luque, you know, an amazing team, Passarella and stuff.
Wow.
But Fidjor was, I mean, it was my idol, you know, Sepp Maier as well, you know, Oliver Kahn, of course, Rogério Ceni, you know, that used to play in my team, São Paulo. So the position, Higuita, Jorge Campos, you know, great players, you know, great players.
Good. Oh, look, Andreas, I'm an ex-professional social player, and do you have a radio show too? No?
Yes, I have a radio show in São Paulo with my son.
Okay, because it's strange. In the past, I was the one who they interview, and now I interview people. So you understand me, because in your show,
totally.
Yeah.
No, it's great that I interview a lot of Brazilian bands, you know, and a lot of them are Sepultura fans, and you know they're very nervous and stuff. But it's cool because we have a conversation, of course. You know,
exactly.
It's a privilege to me to have every week an hour, every Sunday, you know, to talk about music in general, but of course heavy metal and its influences. And I play a lot of Brazilian music, Brazilian bands, you know.
Good.
Probably 80% of the show, I open room for the Brazilian bands that are very hard to get possibility to play their music, to talk about and interviews and stuff. So I learn a lot, you know. I see there are a lot of great bands in Brazil. They are doing amazing stuff, and it's a whole learning experience to work in a radio too, you know. I love it. It's
wow.
really cool.
I have a few friends in Sao Paulo, Thiago, Tiago, the guitarist from Armored Down, Batista from Anti-Demon death metal band. So it's great. It's great to talk with you, and I will translate a little of the idea of the answer that you are saying for the Italian listeners that don't have. Okay, and I will say something completely different that you say. No, I'm joking.
Perfect. I can understand a little Italian. So
okay. I have to stay in alarm. So, quindi ragazzi, abbiamo cominciato alla grande con Andreas parlando un po' della situazione, no? Del calcio, delle nostre passioni e quindi parlavamo di come lui le piace tanto il calcio ed essere un portiere. Incredibile che un portiere, no? Questo piacere mi ha nominato tantissimi grossi della scena sia brasiliana, argentina che mondiale, e poi chiacchierato un po' di calcio, di come eravamo e anch'io, no? Nel passato un ex calciatore, e come è strano essere intervistati in onda, no? E lui c'ha anche un radio show. So Andreas, let's talk about this topic, because if not, the agency will kill me. And I want to say to start, metal bands are really compromise with society, no? When you talk about these things, like, I don't know, people say, look, that guy with the long hair, I will cross the street. And we have really a great soul, a great heart for this kind of stuff, no?
Yeah, I mean, the metal world, it has everything, you know. It also has, of course, that fantasy side, you know, Rain or Ronnie James Dio, that, you know, very much inspired by the tales, which in fact are connected to real matters and subjects. You know, they are really seen in a different way, in a different light. But Sepultura was much more, also, I should say, influenced by the hardcore and punk scene, you know. Of course, Metallica and Motorhead were the bands that really were influenced in a generation before. Really showed, you know, you see James Hetfield using GBH shirts and Discharge, and Cliff Burton with Misfits and all that stuff. And of course, Dead Kennedys and Ramones, Sex Pistols. And their lyrics were much more social aspect of it, you know, the streets, what they suffer on the streets, being different, you know, wearing what they wear, the hair, tattoos and piercing, and really saying that a different type of society, it's possible as well. You know, we shouldn't really be obliged to follow certain steps because tradition and education, you know, obliged us to go that direction, you know. And I think the punk scene was very important for freedom of speech, freedom of being, you know. Of course, the same with the hippie generation, with drugs, you know, and feminism and all that stuff, you know. Music and art was really always an outlet for everything to show a different possibility for society, you know. So heavy metal have that influence, and Sepultura, of course. Since we are from Brazil, when the first time we toured outside Brazil was back in 1989, when we toured with Sodom. And, you know, we saw a lot of people had a very wrong idea about Brazil. You know, Brazil, a lot of people thought that Brazil would only have black people and was only tribes and only beautiful women topless on the beach, you know, and football, of course. And we started to show a more realistic idea. Of course, São Paulo, the big city, the violence, the police brutality, just because we have long hair and all that, you know, dictatorship on the politics and stuff. And that's why, you know, we want to really to show that Brazil, of course, have that beautiful part of it. We're not denying that, but also showing that it has a dark side as well, you know, which is a part of what Brazil or any other country are, you know. Of course, Italy has the beautiful places and stuff, but also has a dark side. Same with Argentina and etc. You know, so I think we use our music really to talk about the Brazil we live, you know, in São Paulo, Belo Horizonte, in the big metropolis, you know.
Okay. when you told me like that, I remember when I came to Italy, you know, I was a young player, and someone told me, do you have the TV in your home? So I was shocked for this, and I had to make silence and instead stay quiet. Quindi ragazzi, chiedevo ad Andrea, come per cominciare, no? Parlavamo di questo nuovo video Defenders of the Earth, compromesso completamente con una situazione attuale e con la società, e le chiedevo, dico, come le band di metallo veramente sono molto compromesse con la società, al contrario di quello che magari le persone credono, no? Vedono un tizio di capelli lunghi e vogliono andare da un'altra parte dalla strada. E allora Andreas ci dice, no, veramente Sepultura ha avuto questo spirito dall'inizio, vedendosi anche influenzato per il punk, no? per il rock, per tutte queste band anni 70-80 comunque rivoluzionarie, con queste tematiche, con una ribellione sopra, no? Che hanno sempre portato a che la band sia compromessa con queste cose. Ci raccontava che quando andavano in giro, per esempio se ricorda il tour con i Sodom, le dicevano, ma cioè, in Brasile che c'è? Tutta gente nera, ci sono tizie che fanno topless, ci sono spiagge, cioè, conoscevano solo questa parte, e invece loro volevano mostrare anche al mondo e far conoscere non solo al suo pubblico, sino anche alle band, gente della scena, magari la parte anche scura del paese, parlare di queste realtà, parlare di queste cose, no? Quindi è sempre stata una delle chicche della band, una cosa molto particolare. Io le raccontavo che quando sono arrivato in Italia un tizio mi ha chiesto se in Argentina avevamo la TV, cioè quindi pensate il grado di ignoranza. So Andreas, looking to this present, we have in our hands now the new video and this single and this topic, an ecologic topic and activism, and we have to understand not only in ecology, but we have to understand that perhaps COVID is not the only problematic, no, on this earth right now. No, we have to stay alert about this.
Exactly, of course, yes. You know, Brazil could be a country that could be a role model in the sense of building cities around or connected to the forest somehow. We don't need to build New York in Manaus, for instance, or another São Paulo in Rio Branco or Acre, you know. We have so many amazing architects and scientists and people that can plan different ways of growing cities that we cannot really deny one side or the other, you know. We should learn with the tribes. You know, they have a lot to teach us regarding medicine, regarding how they treat nature, how they treat water, how they treat the air, the animals and stuff, you know. And we our society treat them as savages, you know, as something under that we have civilization, the civilization that destroys everything, you know. So I mean, Guardians and Verts talk about that, you know, that people are really connected with nature. We should be connected with nature, not be protected from nature. You know, we have the sense to build houses to be protected from rain or from the weather. We should be connected to that, you know. You see the tribes are much more connected. They respect a lot more. We have the work we did with the Chavantes tribe back in 1995 for the Roots album.
Yeah.
And there I realized that a watch that you have in your pulse or whatever, the smartphone, it doesn't have any meaning. You know, time there was so different. you know, in a sense of like, I don't know, breakfast, lunch, work, go back home, watch TV. They don't have anything of that, you know. They deal with nature in a very different way, very different time perspective, which I thought was very healthy. You know, I never liked watch on the post, you know, I always thought was something enslaved about having a watch all the time, you know, since a very young age. I remember when I don't know, I was 13 or 14, I asked for my phone, oh, I want to watch. And then I realized, what the fuck, it's stupid is that? You know, it's like, I know we need to connect with people and time and everything, but this is not natural, you know. On the tribe, you see there's many possibilities to relate with time and society and nature. There are possibilities that we need to learn instead of just destroying them, you know. That's the point.
Absolutely. And many times we want to convert the others to what we are, perhaps.
Exactly.
And
imagine the you know, when the Portuguese and the Spanish came to the Americas to invade with the cross, you know, converting people, as you said, you know, destroying the Aztecs, destroying the Incas, and who knows, many other tribes that were completely decimated, you know. How much we lost in knowledge of the cosmos, or how they relate to the stars, how they relate to society and medicine and everything else, you know, because they have a concept of the Christianity and the kings and all that. The king was the god on earth and all that stupid bullshit, you know, that created so many deaths and destruction, especially through the Inquisition and stuff, you know. And now we should have this different perspective and approach to the tribes and to the nature, you know. Till today, you have idiots with a cross going inside the forest in the Amazon, trying to reach tribes that never had a contact with our society or any other society. You know, till today, 2020, still people have that stupid mind of missionary to go there and give the word of Christ and the cross, whatever that means, you know, to a tribe that don't need that. Why they fucking need that? They're going to bring destruction. They're going to bring a different way of seeing society and family and everything else, you know. This is ridiculous. That's the ignorance that we need to stop and to respect different ways of seeing the world, because we need that. It's a question of survival, you know. It's not a question of who's right or wrong. It's a survival.
Good. Quindi parlavo a Andrea, dico, come questo che hanno portato loro con questo video, questa tematica, e non solo questa, ecologicamente parlando, ci fa capire che non solo oggi magari abbiamo la problematica del Covid, no? Del coronavirus, non è solo questo nel mondo e dobbiamo essere allerta a tante problematiche che stanno succedendo. E lui ci racconta veramente come le industrie, come le persone vogliono cambiare questa parte del Brasile, perché sapete, no? Ha a che fare con l'Amazonas e questa deforestazione, questo voler ammazzare tutte le persone che stanno in quel posto, magari convertendole a qualcosa che vogliono imporre, no? Questa è la problematica, imporre una cosa che le dicevo io ad Andreas, no? Ci racconta come cose del passato anche, no? Come è successo per esempio in Argentina e anche in Brasile, portoghesi e spagnoli portando guerra in nome della croce, in nome di Dio, e questo non può succedere in questa maniera, no? E questo non può succedere, un'ignoranza che in questo momento non deve succedere, che ancora indiani fanno tra di loro questi viaggi di missione, per dirlo, e quindi un po' volevano toccare e dare un'allarma, no? Al mondo su questa faccenda. To continue, Andre, it comes to my mind this. It's a little complicated, so it had so much perhaps rebellion in this in this question, but let's talk about it. Greenpeace is I know is financed by the elite, no? By great corporations who perhaps seems to proclaim that they have the cure, but behind the scenes they also propagate the disease, no? What do you think about this? Because in the superficial we have something, but behind that perhaps we find, don't know, the devil. What do you think about?
I wouldn't know to talk about Greenpeace because I really I mean I don't have information about that. I mean, there's a lot of conspiracy theories and stuff, and the people that we work with more closely are the Sea Shepherd organization, which Sepultura has a partnership for many years now, and Derek now is even more involved with the veganism and more activism on this way to bring information how food is processed and how food is made, which is another important subject, because meat and cattle are very much connected to the burning of the forest and to find more room, to produce more meat and stuff. So everything is connected, And the Amazon front lines, which is based in Ecuador, in the middle of the forest, doing an amazing job. They were the ones who really provided the archives of photos and videos,
Yeah.
So, we're learning how this project. Greenpeace is huge. I'm sure they do a lot of amazing stuff, but I'm sure they have to go through political process as well,
Yeah.
Is any difference from anything else? No, they have their problems as well, I'm sure, with corrupted people. They deal with a lot of different countries, a lot of different cultures, but the message is very positive. You don't have to be affiliated to Greenpeace to be something that will make a difference. You should work in your community. Don't throw trash on the streets, pay your taxes, don't fight with your neighbor because he has a better car, stuff like that. I mean, be aware of your community, work together. The small actions will make a big difference. That's the point. You don't need to wait for a politician to resolve your problems. Like a lot of Brazilians have this image of this politician religious figure that they're gonna come and resolve everything. And they do nothing in their community. Quite the contrary, they do the worst. Throw trash. They don't care about their problems. They don't throw trash on the above the wall to their neighbor, and they resolve their problem and fuck the rest. I mean, That's basically the attitude that really destroying everything. We should really put our differences aside. Religion, politics, left, right, communist, capitalist. This is all concepts created to create chaos. They're not real. They're
Absolutely.
just agreements. An agreement, red is mine. Okay, red is one side. What color is going to be the other side? Oh no, red cannot be because red is communist. What the fuck, man? It's just, I mean, it could be yellow, right? It could be anything. It's just a choice. It's just a choice, And then you have a government here in Brazil that call themselves patriotic, and they, respect the flag and everything, which of course every Brazilian should do. But they killing the green of the flag. The green of the Brazilian flag represent the forest, represent the Amazon, represent our big biodiversity, and they're destroying that. What kind of patriotism is that? It's crazy, the concepts of what it is and what is not. So we should be free of that and really embrace nature as part of nature.
Yeah, and start perhaps in our homes, no? With our family, we can make a difference too.
Exactly.
And, I agree.
Exactly, be aware.
I agree. Quindi ragazzi chiedevo, no, perché molte multinazionali anche ecologiste, io le nominavo Greenpeace, sono finanziate dall'elite che oggi anche stiamo magari criticando e puntando con questa tematica ecologistica, che sono coloro che probabilmente danno, tra virgolette, la cura, ma in realtà hanno anche la malattia, no? Le dicevo io ad Andreas e lui mi racconta, dice, io veramente non c'ho tanta informazione appunto dei Greenpeace, cioè, però capisco che essendo così grossa avrà tantissime problematiche politiche, no? Ma noi conosciamo tanti che veramente stanno lavorando nel posto, come l'Amazonas, che loro stanno appoggiando e supportando, e che veramente fanno la differenza, e che in realtà dobbiamo fare la differenza noi, cioè non buttando la spazzatura, lavorando, pagando le tasse. Qui in Italia ne sappiamo qualcosina, cioè chiudevamo nel dire cominciamo da casa, no? Anche a non a buttare la colpa sempre al governo e a tutto quello che succede di cattivo, se no anche guardarci un po' noi, lasciando andare tutto quello che l'uomo ci ha imposto, religione, politica, filosofie e ideologie, no? E questa era un po' la situazione e la risposta di Andreas. So, well, I listened to some of your answer, Andre, and this will be fun to talk about because listen, do you believe in divine justice?
Well, first of all, belief is something very free, that you can believe in anything. You know, belief is nothing natural as well. It's a concept, you know, it's an agreement. And I mean, I try to deal with concepts not in the matters of belief, but in matters of what the concept try to give in relation to what I feel in nature, being, you know, the sun, the wind, of how people act or how people, you know, react more than act, you know. So belief is something that is a concept, you know, that people grasp to try to make sense or try to explain something, you know, faith. And I don't mean faith only in religion, but in anything, you know, in anything. People can believe in it. I believe this is a conspiracy. I believe in science. I believe in... Even science is not something that is a fact, you know. And I'm not saying I'm not against science or against religion. I'm saying it's just about concepts, you know. Belief is about concepts. Of course, the science there, he's making his research and everything, but we see in the past that this information can be given to society in the context of the politics of the day or the religious ideas of the day, which country you are. You know, Galileo Galilei, for instance, he had the information, but he was forbidden, you know, to share that, you know. And what was true for many people during those days? Oh, Galileo is a liar, you know, he's saying that against the law of God, you know. And what's real and what's not, what people believe and not, it's belief. There's nothing to do with reality, you know. So I try not to believe that thing. I try to relate naturally with concepts. And this is nothing to do with belief.
Yeah, I will make a point of this question because, and then we will pass to some of the questions that we have here in chat with some guys. Because I don't know, I have. How can I tell you? And I know you are a guy open-minded, so you won't destroy me for this. But I had my relationship with God, no, and it's not about religion. I hate religion. I don't want religion in my mind. But I asked you that because I found a piece of the Bible, no, and I wanted to read it and discuss it briefly. Because this is interesting, and because we eat so much of Hollywood and all that films and that stuff. Here comes the apocalypse and the earth will be destroyed, and the Bible says the earth will not be destroyed. I will read this. I will try to read it like Arthur Pendragon. Do you know the guy who make the Warrior's Prayer from Manowar? Do you remember? Kings of Metal. Whirlwind of Doom. No, I'm joking. No, I don't. I don't. Oh, do you know that guy is an ecologist too? So
fantastic, great.
Arthur. and he believed he was the reincarnation of King Arthur. So let's talk.
Let's go to belief again.
Yeah. Oh, Manowar knows how to choose his personal. Oh my God. Okay, so here comes Revelation 11:18 says, "The nations were the nations were angry, and your wrath has come. The time has come for judging the dead and for rewarding your servants, the prophets, and your people who revere or fear your name, both great and small." And listen to this. "And for destroying those who destroy the earth." So God will destroy people who destroy the earth. What do you think about that?
I think it's a nice tale.
Yeah.
You know, it's a story. Yeah, it is a nice tale. I mean, you have a concept of God and the Bible and everything, but the Muslims have a different concept. They have a different book. You know, they have a different way of seeing God and seeing their relation with nature and everything. Same with Buddhism. Buddhism doesn't have a God, doesn't have this concept of somebody watching or having this hierarchy like a king and then the apostles. You know, it's every time you see this is like a society kind of way of building the cosmos. You know, why? You know, why is that?
Yeah.
You know, because it's a concept, it's an idea. I think it's that way, I'm going to write this book. Okay, this is a belief. Like I said, you can believe in anything. In anything. If you watch Monty Python, you know, the life of Brian, they really tell you that, you know, oh no, it's the shoe, he forgot the shoe is sacred. Oh no, it's the bottle, you know, and you put all your faith, you put all everything, and everything's starting to make sense of society because you have a concept of the shoe, you know. Oh, the sun is like that because the shoe is stepping on, oh, the rain came because the shoe, and then it's a world of superstition, and world of superstition is a world of uncertainty, because you deal with superstition emotionally, you know, trying to make sense of how you want to see the world. You see that on Twitter. People only listen of what they want to listen. They are not gonna look to the stuff they gonna make sure that is gonna make their concepts, okay, yeah, this is what I am, you know, because that makes sense. But it's a belief as well, you know. It's just a tale. I mean, with all the respect, you know, I'm not saying that
no,
you're wrong or right. I mean, it's just the way you see the world, and that's very beautiful. That's very artistic, you know. But I don't see, you know, you talk about concepts of infinite without knowing what's it. You always expect a beginning and an end because we are educated that way, you know. The concept of time we have is chronological time. It's not the moment. You know, it's always chronological. You never hear. You always, you know, regarding the past, expecting the future. You know, that's the problem as well. The concept of time and how we deal with the daily situations and nature and everything, you know. So, and this creates confusion. What is destroying, you know? What is destroying in the concepts of God, for instance? Destroying the physical matter of a people that believes in something different. Or destroy somebody that destroy or cut a tree. What is it? You know, what is it destroying? Yeah. You know, everyone have a different concept of destroying. You know, that's very general. And because you believe in a certain thing, oh, destroying is this. Destroying is destroying all the concepts that are not connected to mine. You know, and destroying is like violence, war. Don't get near my family, or don't get near my community. You have the wrong color, and you have the wrong shirt, and you have the wrong possibility. This is stupid. This was only created to create chaos and stereotypes and phobias, which also are concepts and beliefs. They're not natural.
Good. I don't want to talk about religion. I tell you, it's about that concept. If perhaps you were glad about that. about the
No, it's great. I mean, it's great that we can talk. You know,
Yes.
you're a very intelligent guy that are not taking this in a very emotional way. I
Absolutely.
tell you, I respect perspectives. I think everything is very artistic. You know, the imagination of the human being is fantastic. It's a fantastic tool. You know, to try to not get crazy behind the concept of what we are blinded to. You know, oh, you are a man, you are a woman. A man have to be married with a woman. This is a concept of society that we were imposed for so many years. But then you go to the Muslim world, they have many wives, they have many families, they have a totally different way of seeing society. You go to tribes, the same way. You know, you have different society. Why they are wrong and we are right?
Exactly.
That's very arrogant.
Yeah.
That's very arrogant point of view. No,
Is
very arrogant.
Is the thing that we talk in the beginning. No, try to convert the person
Exactly.
imposing.
Convert.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree.
Because I believe you have to believe. Because if you don't believe, I wouldn't be able to have a society.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, I'll be alone. I'll
Yeah.
be alone.
Yeah.
So you have to believe. So I have something to create this illusion in my head that the world is like this and was created that way. You know.
Yeah. And I don't want to make your day boring because everyone is asking the same, perhaps in the interviews.
No,
So,
I love the conversation because that's what Quadra is all about.
Yeah.
Our album is about that. Why do you believe in the stuff you believe? That's the question that Quadra brings, you know. Where this information came from, you know, and why do you defend these ideas as the only truth? That's
Good.
our problem. That's the question you have to do yourself, not to your neighbor, not to your father, not to your grandmother, to yourself.
Yes.
Why I am the way I am. Why I defend this idea. Why I hate somebody that I don't even never met in my life. This is education, bad education.
We have to, perhaps in a near future, we have to eat some asado together and talk about it a lot.
Sin dudas, amigo, sin dudas. Y hablar de todo.
Listo, muy bien. Quindi ragazzi, le chiedevo una domanda un po' complicata, Andrea, se abbiamo preso una bella conversazione lì, ma no, le chiedevo se riusciva magari a credere in una giustizia divina. Io le leggevo un pezzo della Bibbia, no? Scherzavo che la volevo leggere come Arthur Pendragon, quello che ha fatto The Warrior's Prayer dei Manowar. E le leggevo questo pezzo dove dice che Dio andrà a distruggere quelli che distruggono la terra, non che distruggerà la terra in sé, no? E allora si è creata una bella conversazione e lui certamente parla del credere come una cosa che nasce dall'umano, è fatta, no? Ha bisogno l'umano in credere in qualcosa, ma è molto astratta, no? Credere in qualsiasi cosa, mettere la fede in qualsiasi cosa, può essere in un pezzo in una scarpa o in una bottiglia o in quello che sia, non riesce a concepire questa forma di vedere le cose, no? E allora è partito un po' di più su questo lato che magari su quello che volevo fargli dire se le piaceva o no l'idea, però dice a me piace però distruggere cosa? Perché un tizio taglia un albero andrà a distruggere Dio? Cioè, quindi certamente ha il suo parere e le sue fondamenta su questa situazione. Ok, andiamo. So Andreas, 5 minutes. We can.
Yes, because I have another interview in a few minutes.
Okay, a question from the chat. Here we are. Andreas, you have played with many artists and a solo album. Big John say this. Is there a future solo album?
I hope so. Yes, I have many ideas. I have a demo for a second solo album. I put out a solo album back in 2009. It's a double album, which have a lot of acoustic, a lot of electric, songs in English and Portuguese. It was really a cool experience for me. But really, it's about time, really, not to have the time really to focus and do another one. But hopefully sooner than later, I'll have the chance to do that again. I think was it's really interesting approach, to try to do stuff that I don't do in Sepultura, in Della or many other projects that I have,
Good. Quindi adesso diceva, no, le chiedeva a Big John se c'era la possibilità di un solo album nuovo. Non ha tanto tempo come per farlo, però probabilmente avremo la possibilità di sentire Andreas in un altro solo album. And then people say that the new album is great, is a renew of Sepultura artistically. I agree with that, because I confess to you, Andreas, that I began to listen to Sepultura again with this album. Do you think that Quadra make this with some old listeners or new fans?
Well, I don't know, and I actually don't care about that, really. And then because if we measure that, this is something that is not a part of our daily basis. We don't do to reconquer or to do anything like that. We do what we do,
Yeah.
Even with any formation, we lost and gained fans. I remember when we put out Roots, a lot of people hated Roots because it was very experimental. Yeah, it's true. It was very experimental. The percussion and all that stuff, and was very apart from the thrash world, that people, Chaos AD was already a little different, but Roots was very different, and it is a very important album in our career, but a lot of people left Sepultura, especially after Max left, but on the other hand, a lot of people start listening to Sepultura because Derek came into the band, because it was something different. It's a different singer and stuff, and who knows? I mean, I really don't care about that. I respect all opinions. You all are part of the Sepultura nation in his Sepultura history. That's why we play every Sepultura song from every album, basically, on the shows. Bestial Devastation to Quadra. The fans, they don't need to be inside this stupidity, idiotic fight, who is Sepultura, who is not. We are Sepultura together every time we meet each other. That's the momentum. Sepultura is not in the past. Sepultura is in the present. That's we make Sepultura every day. And that's the beauty of it all. That's what motivates us so much. To be in the present and live the present. And that's it.
Ok, Andreas. Quindi parlavamo per chiudere, no? Quadra per me personalmente è l'album che mi ha riportato ad ascoltare Sepultura. Le chiedevo, prendendo la domanda di Danilo lì, dicendole che è un capolavoro Quadra, che è una rinascita artistica, e lui dice: a me sinceramente non è che me ne frega più di tanto, perché tanta gente è arrivata a Sepultura magari quando Derek è entrato nella band e ha sentito una voce nuova, cioè hanno criticato anche Roots, per esempio, no? Cioè uno dei classiconi della band, e non l'hanno capito nel momento. Quindi sinceramente a me mi preoccupa il presente e portare avanti questo progetto e non quello che è successo nel passato. So Andreas, listen, it was an honor to talk with you. Thank you very much for your time, for your kindness, and hope to see you sometime around the world. I don't know. And
same here, man. Thank you very much for the room here to talk about, and it's always a pleasure to talk about music and philosophy and politics and religion and life. Congratulations to your show. It's a fantastic opportunity, and hopefully, yes, we'll see each other soon on the road. Listen to Quadra, that we'll be back soon on the stage. Grazie per tutto.
Oh, anche in good. Quindi ragazzi, così passa Andreas Kisser qui su Metal Maximum Radio, e io vi saluto di questo speciale Sepultura e vi lasciamo con il single di questo che abbiamo parlato, Sepultura, Guardians of Earth. Ciao ragazzi.
Stai ascoltando metalmaximumradio.net a 666 miliardi di watt.
Natsanios, metal from the rock.